I'm here tonight over this property maintenance code. It's, my interpretation of it's kind of being slid in sideways here. I haven't seen anything in the meeting minutes where you took a vote on it. I see on April 14th you sent Mr. Pence down to Wilkesboro to train him for this. I think you're getting the cart before the horse. My impersonation is this is just another way of you fellows trying to go after me. I don't know if you folks know it or not, but we've been in court for the last 20 years. If you folks knew how much money the township spent of yours and mine to go after me. There was a proposal put to you fellows back in 2010 that was never referred, got back to. I think this could go away, but I'm here to say, don't burden these people of the township to try and get me.
That's right.
If you want to go out to the parking lot and have that, or if you want to sit down and try and resolve it, but right there we attempted to resolve it back in 2010 and haven't heard anything. You took me to court not once, but twice, but 3 times after that proposal. This is getting ridiculous. This is absolutely absurd. I don't think the people of the township want this property maintenance code. It's not going to
Absolutely not.
It's not going to do anything but cause all kinds of grief in this township. And if it's geared to get me, don't do it to these people. I'll do whatever you want to do, reasonable, but don't do this to the people in the township.
I appreciate that. Amen.
Amen.
Illegal.
Folks knew how much money of ours that they spent
Yes.
over the last 20 years.
How much?
How much is that? That's public record?
$400,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to get you.
Just
But
to
why
get me.
haven't you compromised with them the first time?
I've tried to.
Why are you
compromise.
stepping up now?
Because
I stepped up the whole time.
because it involves all of us.
Yes.
It's our money.
All
It's not just
private
one
property
It's not
rights
your
too.
money, it's our money.
I live in Cranberry Township.
Yeah, so do I.
It's my money too.
I
Well,
stepped
then
up.
think about it.
I tried to compromise the whole time, but you can't compromise when they take you to court. The compromising's done. You're in court.
And you get to go by what's legal.
One speaker at a time, please.
But that's all I have to say. I'm willing to work it out with you guys, but don't burden these people.
You haven't so far.
Well, it will when they pass this. You have no idea, there's no way to beat it. If they come and tell you you gotta unpeel your house and paint your house, you're gonna paint your house, or you're gonna get charged with misdemeanor.
It seems to
and
be
90 days in jail.
the only way that they have to get you to clean up a section of property that is an absolute eyesore
Which property you're
along
referring to?
322.
Well, let me stop you there. That was created by former council, Mr. Getzinger, and I can supply you with the letter. When they took me to court the first time, they didn't want me to put anything on the Garden Lane property or the Hill property. And Mr. Getzinger wanted me to put it down there till the appeal was heard by the appellate court. The appellate court heard it and ruled in my favor. That's how that was created.
Yeah, I want to make one statement about the property maintenance code. I'm sure that's why all y'all are here.
Yeah.
It's been mentioned, period, that we look into improving our property maintenance code. We have done nothing at all. When and if we do,
Well, that's not true. You sent Pence down to training.
he goes to all kinds of training, and we didn't send him specifically for that. But I'm not arguing with that.
No, I'm just saying
Wait a
training
minute,
for.
wait a minute, please. What I'm trying to tell you is, when and if we move to adopt any code or change any code, it will be in public meetings with public comments, not in the open, or not in back room, like I'm sure it's been presented to a lot of you. We've done nothing except it's been mentioned at the last meeting that we consider improving our property maintenance code, including looking at the international property maintenance code, but we've done nothing yet. And if we do, it has to be done in public, and so at this point, nothing has changed.
21 days, I think, of advertisement for that public meeting, so again, that's all we've done is look at potential information.
We don't want it.
Just letting you know ahead of time that we don't want it.
We
So you
appreciate
can
that.
potentially think about that.
State your name, please.
Lou Betterman from Tipperary.
Yes.
When I was 14 years old, they were starting a UN. And the UN was a promise that we wouldn't shoot at each other anymore. We would look across the table and talk. And I thought, damn, that's a good idea. Because I just watched all the newsreels for World War II. The war was just over. And I thought, to eliminate the carnage and the destruction that war causes, boy, that's a great idea. It hasn't worked. It's a total failure. The UN is a complete failure, and I just don't want to see anything to do with the UN. And this property maintenance code is UN.
Okay, thank you.
Me?
Back.
First of all, I agree with him. 25,
State your
30
name,
years ago.
please.
I'm Jack Master from Cranberry. I would agree with him because 25 or 30 years ago, I'd see signs saying those things about how, starting about the UN being what it is today. I said, wow, there's not, but what he just said is true. And Cranberry Township in America do not need international agreements. And as far as this local stuff is, you guys have a system, you have a code, you just got the law, the new law. And when your neighbors complain, take that new law and apply it if you have to. Don't need any more code, any more laws. Definitely don't need any international law.
Right.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
I don't live in the township, but I own property in this township.
Name, say your name.
Name is Rodney A. Beto. This is a copy that Sugar Creek, 43 pages of communism, okay? My father taught in European theater for 4.5 years. He got 3 Bronze Stars and many other medals. You know why? To stop stuff like this that Hitler did. We don't need this. If we can't work amongst ourselves, if a neighbor's got a complaint, we need to take it to the neighbor.
That's right.
And sit down at the table like this man said, because, you know, Donald Trump's right, the union stink, or the UN stinks, and he's right. But print it off the internet. Just go to their website and get 43 pages. I don't want somebody knocking my door and giving me a violation that says you need to paint the trim on your house. I live here, I own it, leave us alone. And this is what's going on in this country. We are fed up with the government. We appreciate what you guys did. We're not here to really bust your chops, but we want you to know right now, don't even think about this. Because I think there's enough money in this room right now that we can get a pretty good lawyer. This is never ever going to happen in Cranberry Township.
He laughs about it. He laughs about it. Yeah.
Rob Aiken, I do live in Cranberry Township. I guess I'm not in favor of this international code. However, I'm certain there are certain things that need to be updated in our current statutes, and that would be, you know, towards rental, where, you know, there was things that they did implement, you know, so they did the whole thing, but certain portions of it for rental property where you're renting out as a commercial operation to somebody, where you have people coming into the used facilities that may need to go up to a certain code, you know, whether it be through the fire code, in a certain number of outlets in a room, switches, things like that. It's not a bad thing if it's for commercial rental property. Okay, but when you start getting into personal individual homes, nobody has the right to come in and make changes and tell you that this needs to be done this way. And if we shouldn't have that in a community where, like I said, we can't work together. If there is an issue, it can be resolved, whether it be here for you guys, which you guys have to thank us, you all, I was to say that. You guys don't get paid for doing all this, and you spend all your time doing it, so I appreciate what you do, but we're not, like I said, we're not here to bust you guys at all. It's just, this is probably not the right fit, especially with us being a rural community, more so than a city or a town, you know, big city, so this is not a good fit for us. So if we can do something a little different, maybe take a few items just to amend what we're doing already, then we already have a lot of good rules on the books. I don't think we need to have a lot more. Some of those could be tweaked a little bit and work better for what we're doing than this. Thank you.
Amen.
Amen.
I'm Barry Stover. I live on Main Street in Seneca. You know, I've seen rules bent, broke, twisted, and I'm gonna talk just for myself because I know I went through it. You know, my kids bought me a metal shed one time for Christmas. In the instructions, it didn't say, go to your local township and get a building permit. I went, what? You know, I get a letter in the mail from the township that says, you're gonna be fined $300 because you didn't get a building permit. I'm like, what? Well, how can I make this go away? We'll come down and give us $30. And I go, $30. If I pay you $30, you won't give me a $300 fine for putting up a metal shed that wasn't even, I had that baby on rails. I could pull it all over my yard if I wanted to. But you made sure it was 7 feet away from the fence. But what you didn't make sure was where the property line was. You didn't make sure of that. But you said get it away from the fence. And I just cannot figure out why we just can't get along. That's all we have to do, seriously. If you don't have to, you know, somebody snuck in my backyard and they seen it. They seen I had a shed up. Why the heck didn't Stover have a building permit out in front? So I did. I come down and I paid the $30. I took that yellow piece of paper, I put it on a blue board, and I nailed it right in my front yard. My wife said, well, Perry, what do you do? I said, I'm putting up the $30 sign I just bought. That's what I'm doing. But I said, no, that's ludicrous. It's just, yeah, we need to come to a really good agreement. And let's just quit beating each other up. Our world is so messed up. We don't need anything else, my Lord. I'm done.
Yeah, my name's Tim Johnson from Hill City Road. I'd like to know how one of us lay people, residents of Cranberry Township, can get a copy of all the ordinances that Cranberry Township currently has, so we can review them and make sure that we're in compliance, and maybe offer an opinion where they need tweak from time to time.
They're available here at the township.
Do you have to come here to get a hard copy? They're not online or anything like that?
Supposed to be in the courthouse law library. It's supposed to be on file at the courthouse law library.
You don't look into getting them online.
We can't put it online.
What? How can you say that when other
Public
counties do? Other
Well,
places
it's-
do?
when you put them online and they change and they don't get changed online, then you're in trouble.
You have to have a maintenance plan to keep them updated, but other municipalities do. That's just global thing.
Just one
Name,
question,
please.
Jared Finley. So nothing has been done on this, this was just mentioned in a meeting, there hasn't been any other discussion on this, Joe hasn't been sent anywhere, there's no money's been spent on this.
That's right.
So basically, I'm hearing it's maybe a witch hunt?
Could be, it's not a witch hunt. People have the right to express their opinions and we approve it and we appreciate it.
But I mean, that's as far as this has gone so far.
It is, and if it does move ahead, like I said, we have to do it, advertise it, and do it public meetings and pass an ordinance.
What prompted this? I mean, community activity? Lawyers. Government infringing on your rights?
Comprehensive plan.
And comprehensive